Okay, so be honest. Do you think today's movement is enough to start a new bullish rally? If you want to know my opinion, it's a strong indication, yes, mainly because the support levels we are observing together here on this channel are still being respected. And what is most curious is that we see our resistance levels being broken. So that's very interesting, but we still have some risks as always. And in this video, we'll see what we can do from now on and what kind of strategy we can use. You already know my strategies. I have talked about them several times and it is no secret here. So allow me to share more of my thoughts with you. My name is Nathan. Welcome to the Finance Hydra channel where we study the market every single day, delivering valuable content to you based on technical evidence, charts, statistics, and facts. Let's start our daily analysis video looking at the SPY ETF. Here we see a very nice bullish candle, okay, rejecting any possibility of a top signal below these resistance levels over here, okay, near this previous resistance area, all right? So that's a very strong bullish signal, reinforcing the idea that yes, SPY ETF could seek higher levels from here, okay? By rejecting the possibility of a top signal over here, SPY is free to seek higher levels, okay? Yesterday's reaction was still quite annoying to me from my point of view. We were still below a few resistance levels, right? But right now, we see a phenomenal breakout of yesterday's high. What's the only thing missing? Is a clear breakout of this green line at 649.48. Why, Nathan? Because this green line is the all-time high, okay? We are this close to the all-time high, all right? We are on the verge of making a new all-time high. And by breaking this green line, SPY is going to trigger another bullish pivot point, another higher high, higher low, giving continuation to the uptrend. Nathan, if this happens, what to expect next? Well, in this case, if you are bullish on the SPY, you will be very happy, all right, because our next technical target will be the resistance line of this ascending channel. All right, we could seek higher levels from here, something like Google did, all right? Google did this very same reaction over here a few weeks ago, right? And I did warn you guys about it here on this channel as well before the breakout of this pivot point. I told you guys, by breaking this pivot point, by making a higher high, higher low, Google can retest the resistance line of its ascending channel. And that's what happened over here. Now we see an upwards breakout of this resistance level, so phenomenal. Google is just phenomenal. If you're bullish on the SPY, that's what you want to see the SPY materializing next, okay? That's the ideal scenario for you. You want to see, but for now, the most important inflection point is 649.48, all right? Now, you may say, but Nathan, what if tomorrow or next week, right in the next few days, we see a very ugly bearish reaction, failing to break this all-time high, or maybe making a false breakout from this all-time high? In this case, we may see a possible bull trap over here, suggesting a sharper correction to our next support levels, maybe the 21-day MA, the exponential moving average on the daily chart, or in the worst case scenario to the 632. Okay, but for now, there is no technical evidence supporting a bearish case right now. Okay, for now, we are still looking very bullish, okay? SPY looks phenomenal. On the weekly chart, we are avoiding a top signal, okay? And that's great. Guys, there is a crystal clear inflection point over here, which is 632.95. If we lose this key point on the weekly chart, then it's over, okay? Probably we're gonna see SPY retesting the 613 near this 21 weekly moving average next, all right? But for now, for now, we are doing very well, okay? We are holding above our main support levels. We did a false breakout from this ascending channel. So yes, SPY looks very nice. It is still looking very good. Now, QQQ, tech stocks are still not that bullish, but today's reaction is quite good because yesterday we saw some stabilization below the 21-day EMA after closing this gap over here, which could have been a resistance level for us, okay? Guys, we never know the future, okay? We can't possibly tell the future, but we can react accordingly. Okay, that's what I always tell you guys on almost every single one of my videos, okay? We don't know the future. We don't know if we're gonna see an upwards or downwards breakout, okay? We can't possibly tell. So we react accordingly, and that's why I always tell you guys, wait for the damn confirmation, okay? Always wait for confirmation. By waiting for confirmation, you can avoid many traps, unnecessary losses, and even stress, okay? Because the market can easily stress you, but if you work strategically, you can avoid all of that, okay? You can simply avoid all of that, okay? So right now, we frustrated the possibility of a top signal below this resistance level. Now, if you ask me, QQQ is heading towards the 578. And that's the most important inflection point. It is even more important than the all-time high at 583.32. Why, Nathan? Because by breaking the 578, we are going to frustrate the idea of a head and shoulders chart pattern. Okay, we're gonna break the second shoulder's high. We're gonna invalidate this bearish chart structure, which is a very strong one, all right? This bearish reversal chart pattern is a quite reliable one from a statistical point of view, okay? So this could be what the QQQ needs to avoid a true reversal. It is a possible scenario, okay? We are not there yet, all right? We have roughly $2-3 to go, okay, to break this key point, but we are almost there, okay? We still have a chance of reacting, of reversing this, of frustrating this bearish reversal chart pattern, okay? So remember, 578, that's the key point for you. Now, conversely, let's say in the future, which does not exist, by the way, but let's assume hypothetically in the future that we see a very strong bearish reaction below the 578, losing the 21-day EMA. Then okay, such reaction could be the beginning of another top signal, reinforcing the idea of a sharper pullback over here to the 558. All right, but for now, remember, again, for now, there is no such thing. There is no technical evidence suggesting that this scenario is going to materialize. For now, we are just bullish, okay? We are maintaining the bullish bias. We avoided a top signal over here. We are now above the 21-day EMA, so that's phenomenal. We are doing very hard. We are trying very hard to maintain the bullish bias over here, okay? So that's how I see SPY and QQQ. If you ask me, in my humble opinion, we are not trading SPY or QQQ, okay? We rarely, guys, it's extremely rare for us to trade SPY or QQQ, okay? Because we always see better opportunities to make more money more easily in other stocks, okay, in individual stocks. So we always manage the beta of our portfolio. For instance, when we see the market very difficult, very complex, we reduce the beta. We trade stocks with lower beta, right? For instance, recently, Scorpio over here, which is inside an ascending channel, by the way, just like the SPY ETF, we bought Scorpio over here after the materialization of this ignition bar. Ignition bar above the 21-day EMA inside an ascending channel, we bought over here. It is performing very well. So in order for us to see, or at least in order for the SPY to convince me that we're gonna see another bullish rally, would be nice to see a clear bottom signal, maybe an ignition bar like Scorpio near a support level. For now, the situation is still a little bit messy over here. We just saw a downwards breakout of this resistance level. I'm so sorry, of this support level. So I'm still a little bit skeptical, but I always prefer to trade other stocks. And I have to say this because sometimes I see people saying, Nathan, you are clearly bearish. No, you have no idea. First, because we never trade SPY or QQQ. We rarely trade SPY or QQQ, okay? So these are not giving us clear or good opportunities according to my trading style, okay? I see better stocks right now, but if you ask me, if you ask me, Nathan, you have to do something on the QQQ over here. You have to, all right? You have to. You have no choice. You have to either buy or sell. What are you gonna do? Right now, if you ask me, I would buy, okay? And I would set a stop loss below today's low, below this 21-day MA, around this purple line over here, okay, 569, and my target would be the all-time high. Okay, that's how I see the situation. Remember, as long as you have a clear stop loss in mind, as long as you have a target in mind, okay, every single strategy is valid, all right? Everything is valid. The only thing that is crazy is to trade without stop loss, without target, without knowing the beat of your stock, the volatility of your stock, how the volatility is going to interfere with your broader portfolio. So guys, if you work strategically, you can always find a good opportunity. But right now, SPY, QQQ, they're not looking that good. I see much more interesting movements over here. For instance, Nvidia. Between buying QQQ or SPY or Nvidia, I would prefer Nvidia. And you may ask why. Because Nvidia is now trying to react, okay? We are still above the support line, okay? I would be happier to see a retest of the 165, but still, we work with what we got, all right? And right now, we are trying to stabilize. We are trying to make a bottom signal. On the 1-hour chart, we see what seems to be a possible ascending triangle chart pattern over here, okay? If we see the breakout of the 172, we are gonna trigger this bullish reversal chart pattern for real, suggesting another bullish possibility, maybe to the 21-day MA, maybe to the 183, to the all-time high area, okay? Maybe, right? We don't know yet. We have to see a breakout of the 172 as soon as possible in order for Nvidia to officially trigger a clear bottom signal. Okay, then and only then I would be way happier with Nvidia. For now, let's wait for a clear breakout. In the absence of a clear breakout, Nvidia is not going to turn really bullish according to my perspective. Okay, so that's how I see Nvidia right now. It could be a phenomenal opportunity, but we gotta break 172.38. That's the key point for you. That's the key point you want to see Nvidia breaking if you are bullish on it. But Nathan, I'm bearish on Nvidia. Okay, so that's the key point. You don't want to see Nvidia breaking, all right? We are still below it. So, okay, so far so good. Now, Tesla. This one is above the 21-day MA, all right? It is looking good. It is looking, I mean, it is not good, but it is decent, okay? It is making a hammer candle pattern above the 21-day MA. We are maintaining the bullish bias over here, right? We are above this purple trend line. We are still making higher highs, higher lows. So, okay, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Tesla. If you ask me, this one could be a nice opportunity. However, if by any chance we see Tesla tomorrow or in the next few days losing today's low, this red line over here at 331.48. If we see Tesla losing this red line over here again in the next few days, we are going to reject any possibility of a bottom signal, okay? No bottom signal for Tesla anymore, all right? If we lose this support level, it's over. We are still above it, so okay, fine. Tesla could react. We could see another bounce, maybe to the 355 or 57 up here, okay? Any of these resistance levels could be our next technical target. So far so good. Tesla is still maintaining the bullish bias. There is nothing wrong with it. But guys, remember, always set a clear stop loss. Always know the target. Always know the beat of your stock, okay? We should always trade strategically, all right? And yes, Tesla is one of the stocks that I have on my radar right now, but I'm still not so sure. Maybe I'm gonna share other opportunities with you guys on our Telegram channel. And remember, if you wanna trade with us and have access to the stocks we are actually trading, join our group of traders on Telegram. Join the 5% project. There and only there you will learn how to trade in practice intelligently, controlling the risk of each single trade, controlling the beta of your stocks, and always with a technical basis. We have brought peace of mind to hundreds of traders who are now able to make consistent profits in the market thanks to our method and guidance. It's free to try, so you have nothing to lose if you just want to check out how we work. We share signals every day. We have live streams together every single week, as well as analysis and bonus content for you on a daily basis. So the link to my website is in this video's description. It's right here below in the description. If you want to trade with us, you are more than welcome to join us over there, okay? See if you like what we have to offer. Now we have our dear AMD, all right? Not AMD, it's AMD, okay? AMD is above our support level. Okay, above our support level. On the 1 hour chart, there is the idea of a double bottom chart pattern. So don't you agree that if we see our dear AMD breaking the 163, 164 resistance level up here, we could see a nice bullish reversal chart pattern suggesting that our dear AMD, she's going to bounce to even higher levels, possibly breaking the 21-day EMA in the process. We are making bottom signals near a very important support level. This key point is the trigger point of this double top chart pattern, okay? So by losing this key point, it's over. AMD will possibly retest lower levels like the 147, but by avoiding this chart structure, we can make a phenomenal bear trap. A bear trap for many bears who are waiting for a downwards breakout over here, okay? For a breakdown over here, all right? So that could get very ugly. Many of the sellers would have to buy to liquidate their positions. This could be the trigger of a phenomenal rally on our dear AMD. But remember, we gotta break out our main resistance level. The 163.65 is our major inflection point over here, okay? If you ask me, AMD looks way dozens of times better than SPY, QQQ, and even Tesla and Nvidia, okay? Of course, regarding Tesla and Nvidia, it is not like dozens of times, but maybe a few times better than Tesla and Nvidia, all right? It is looking way more interesting. That's what I always tell you guys. Guys, although we rarely trade SPY, QQQ, because we see many other stocks looking way better, we have to use them because they are still our benchmark, okay? They are still our main indices, all right? So we gotta pay attention to them. If we see SPY, QQQ breaking their main resistance levels, rejecting the idea of a top signal, our dear AMD could fly way higher, and what's even more interesting, with a good risk reward relationship, because in the end it all comes down to risk reward relationship. All right, that's the main driver for us over here. All right, we always got to observe how much risk we are taking to the reward we are aiming for. Okay, if you don't do that, you are just betting. Okay, and we as retail traders, as professional traders, we never bet on this market. All right, now Palantir, this one is also trying to react. Okay, there is no clear meaningful bullish reversal on the 1 hour chart, but we do see a kind of congestion. We are still inside this congestion over here. There is no clear breakout, but don't you agree that by breaking the 163.20, we are gonna do an upwards breakout from this congestion? And of course, on the daily chart, we are going to also break the 21-day EMA. So 2 resistance levels in one single blow. We may break these key points over here and seek higher levels, maybe the 187 near the all-time high again. All right, but for now, guys, let's wait for confirmation. Okay, confirmation is all that we need over here in this context, because I don't know, maybe Palantir is going to collapse, is going to make another top signal and retest the 142 again. Okay, this could happen. All right, but for now, guys, since we don't know, let's always wait for technical confirmation. Let's wait for technical evidence to confirm our thoughts and ideas. Okay, if we see that, all right, Palantir is gonna be a sell. It's over for Palantir. Palantir will probably seek higher levels. I'm so sorry, lower levels. Okay, so that could be horrible. Either way, I'll be here to keep you guys updated, all right? Because in this channel, I share ideas, strategies, I share my thoughts with you guys every single day. So you should subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. And remember, like this video to support me as well. By supporting me, you make me very happy, okay? So you can spread the joy for free. Your like is totally free, my dear friends. So come on, like this video, join the Finance Hydra channel, okay? Now, SoFi, still bullish, okay? Above the 21-day EMA, making higher highs, higher lows, all right? Now, if you ask me, in my humble opinion, we see a bottom signal above the 21-day EMA, and that's a bullish continuation chart pattern. All right, that's a clearly bullish continuation chart pattern. The all-time high is right here, okay, 28.26. And let me see. Okay, we are almost there, right? If you ask me, SoFi could trigger a very nice rally. However, guys, remember, we see a bottom signal above a support level. If you say to me, Nathan, I want to buy, go for it. Okay, because in this channel, I do not offer investment advice. Okay, I do not offer signals over here, but I'm just saying, if you want to buy, all right, you are totally right, because we are still bullish, okay? We are above support levels. We see clear bottom signal over here, so phenomenal. By the way, today's candle has a name, all right? It is a bullish engulfing candle pattern, so phenomenal. Bullish bottom signal above a clear support level, and we could easily seek the all-time high near 28.26. What's the catch? If you want to buy it, just remember to set a stop loss, and in my humble opinion, any stop loss should be below today's low, all right? Should be around 24.24, okay? Because if we see SoFi losing 24.24, we are not only going to reject today's bullish candle, but we are going to possibly lose this 21-day EMA support level as well. On the 1 hour chart, there is the idea of a possible double top over here, lower highs, lower lows, right? So by losing this key point, we are going to reverse the short-term trend as well. So that's the main problem for you. Still, if the risks, if the reward outweighs the risk, okay, go for it. Not an advice, all right? We are not trading SoFi, okay? I'm not recommending SoFi, not even on our Telegram channel, but it is an idea, okay? If you like SoFi, if you are bullish on SoFi, yes, that's the kind of strategy I would use over here if I were to trade SoFi. Now is not the ideal time for me. Our previous trade on SoFi was down here. Okay, we bought near this 21-day EMA, near this purple trend line before the breakout of this ascending triangle. Okay, but for now, I would like to see better chart structure over here. Okay, but of course, buying SoFi at this point is totally valid. Okay, it makes perfect sense. Now, Robinhood. This company makes no sense, all right? I hate Robinhood. It is the most diabolical company ever. I see people saying, Nathan, it's Palantir. Palantir is the most diabolical company ever. Guys, that kind of opinion is usually based on, I don't know, on an ideological aspect, okay? When I say that Robinhood is the worst company ever, I have a very pragmatic view, okay? Very pragmatic, practical view on this topic, all right? So to me, from my point of view, this company is the worst by far, far, far. However, we can trade Robinhood, okay? Money has no ideology, okay? So we are totally free to trade it, to swing trade it. I would never invest, but I can easily trade Robinhood. Now, if you ask me, there is the idea of a possible head and shoulders over here, okay? However, by seeing the broad market performing very well, probably Robinhood, it is a high beta stock, okay? 3.12 over here, all right? This one could perform very well. Next, on the 1-hour chart, we see we see a bullish pivot point getting triggered. Now, we are making higher highs, higher lows above the 21-hour EMA. So the 1-hour trend, the trend on the 1-hour chart is already bullish. While on the daily chart, we are not. But don't you agree that if we break today's high along with this 21-day EMA, we could seek higher levels like the all-time high level up here, okay? I'm so sorry. It's the all-time high. Is this the all-time high level? I think it is, right? Yes, it is. Okay, so we could easily seek the all-time high level near $117.70, okay? However, remember, we gotta break this resistance level as soon as possible. So we can see Robinhood flying over here, and of course, with a good risk-reward relationship, because any stop loss should be below today's low, below the 100s, okay? So that's my humble idea for Robinhood right now. So amazing risk-reward relationship. I do like it. I think it is a very nice stock to trade and not to invest, but we do see a nice upside potential. Okay, so guys, remember, subscribe. If you are still watching me and you are not a subscriber, dude, it's too late for you. Subscribe, like this video, join the 5% project if you want to have access to our real trades, okay, in real time with good risk management. Okay, so join us over there, see if you like what we have to offer. Thank you so much for your audience, my dear friends. Stay safe. See you guys tomorrow as usual. Bye bye.